When I first came to the monastery, I thought wisdom came from words. I believed those who spoke the most knew the most. But over time I discovered something very different. The more I spoke, the less I heard. And the less I spoke, the more I understood. We live in a world full of noise, constant chatter, endless opinions, a stream of words that rarely leads to clarity. People speak not to communicate, but to be heard. Not to connect, but to compete. And somewhere in that noise, we lose the ability to truly listen to others, to the world, and to ourselves. In the monastery, we practiced something called mauna, the discipline of silence. Not just the absence of speech, but the presence of awareness. During my first week of silence, my mind rebelled. Thoughts ran wild. I wanted to speak, to explain, to ask. But no one would answer, and I slowly began to observe something powerful. When the tongue rests, the heart speaks. One morning, I sat beside an elder monk. We watched the sun rise in complete silence. After an hour, he turned to me and smiled. "Did you hear what the silence said?" he asked. At first, I didn't understand. But as the days passed, I began to hear things I never heard before. The sound of wind brushing against stone. The sighs of the earth as it exhaled at dusk. And inside me, clarity. A knowing. Peace. In our modern life, we often speak out of habit, not purpose. We speak to fill silence, to escape awkwardness, to mask vulnerability. But true strength is found in restraint. In choosing when not to speak. In observing, in listening deeply. Let me tell you a story. There was once a wealthy man who visited our monastery. He came to ask the monks how to find peace. "I have tried everything," he said. "Therapy, yoga, reading? Nothing works." The abbot simply pointed to the forest. "Spend 3 days in silence among the trees," he said. The man protested. "But what should I do in the forest?" "Be silent," the abbot replied, "and listen." 3 days later, the man returned, tears in his eyes, softer in demeanor. "I met myself for the first time," he whispered. That's the gift of silence. It introduces you to the person beneath the noise. Speaking less isn't about being quiet for the sake of being quiet. It's about creating space for reflection, for mindfulness, for presence. When you speak less, you become more intentional. You choose your words like a sculptor chooses where to carve. And when you speak, it lands. It matters. In your relationships, speaking less allows others to feel seen. In your career, speaking less gives you the power to listen, to learn, and to lead with wisdom. In your spiritual journey, speaking less quiets the ego and awakens the soul. Even in conflict, silence can be your strength. Words said in anger leave wounds. But silence, when chosen wisely, can de-escalate, disarm, and dignify. Ask yourself, how often do I speak from impulse instead of purpose? How often do I speak just to fill a silence that might be trying to teach me something? In my own journey, I've learned that silence is not empty, it is full of answers. The world will always try to pull you into its noise, but your power lies in your pause. So, if you want to gain more respect, peace, clarity, depth, start by speaking less. Observe more. Listen more. Reflect more. Be more. When you stop trying to impress with your words, your presence begins to speak. And in that presence, you will find everything you've been searching for. Let silence be your sanctuary. Let it cleanse your thoughts, slow your breath, and open your heart. And remember, you don't have to say much to be heard. You just have to speak with intention or not at all. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. If these words brought you peace, pass them on. There is someone out there who needs a little less noise and a little more stillness today. Until next time, speak less, live more.